everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing what you guys all requested, and that is the ABC build challenge. Now, I have only seen Plumbella do this challenge, and she did such an amazing job with hers, and I don't think I can top how she did hers, but I will certainly try for you guys. So here is the list of items, if you will, that we will need to build a house, as well as the order that it will need to be built in. So as you can see, walls and windows are at the very bottom of the list, which is why this is such a difficult challenge, but it ended up not being too terrible aside from a few glitches with the doors here and there, since we did obviously have to use the move objects on sheet in order to make this challenge possible. So here you see me building the bathroom. It was very awkward because the toilet was literally the very first item that I placed, and I've never done that before, so it was definitely out of my comfort zone. Also, you guys are probably wondering why I'm doing a voiceover speed build for this instead of recording it in real time, and the answer to that is that I did, but it ended up taking me an hour and a half to build and record this, and I promised you guys I'd have this up by Wednesday, and that would not have happened had I had to edit a video that was an hour and a half long. So I do apologize about that, but I figured at least this way you guys wouldn't have to sit through my anxious rambling. Another thing is that I did want to record myself doing this challenge, so I had my face cam on, and I realized that I looked like absolute dog poop when I looked at the recording. I thought I looked a lot better than I actually did. The camera was not too nice to me, so I did take that off, and I apologize because I kind of wanted this to be a reactionary video, and instead I did a voiceover, but I think this will be better because that way you guys don't have to sit through a long video, and you can kind of see what I did sped up. So here I am placing the bedroom. This was actually the most difficult part of this challenge, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's because I decorate the bedrooms a lot, and there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of different pieces of furniture that go into the bedroom. And I think the thing that I struggled with the most was that rug down there under the bed. For whatever reason, I decided to get creative and like put two of those rugs next to each other so that it looked better and so that like it was covering the whole bed nightstand area. And I don't know why I decided to do that for a challenge like this, because it ended up making things a lot harder. But anyway, guys, here I am doing the dining room. This was definitely probably the easiest part because there aren't a whole lot of things that I put in the dining room. And I think really it wasn't the dining room itself that was hard, but it was trying to figure out like where the hallways were gonna go. I really had to like imagine the build in my head. I had to kind of like visualize where all the doors and the walls were. And so it definitely made it hard, and you'll see here like at the end of the video there's a huge gap like between the dining room and bathroom that I had no idea what to do with. But here you see me placing the doors. So I finished the bathroom, bedroom, dining room, and then it was time for doors. So you see me placing those. Now a problem that I ran into was that when you place doors with move objects on, there are issues when you place the walls afterwards. They don't click on the walls. You have to move them again. So I don't know if that counts as cheating, but I figured because they were kind of close to where they needed to be, and I don't know if it's entirely possible to place a door before you place a wall and have it snap into place. I thought it was okay. I think the goal of this challenge is to just complete this without, you know, like giving up basically. And I did that. So I guess in that case you could say that I won the challenge, or I passed the challenge. But yeah, here you see me placing the floors. Now one thing that I didn't think about when I placed the floors is that when you put walls over it, the floors get deleted. I don't know why that happens. I don't know if it's because it creates like a foundation or whatnot, but it deleted all the floors and I had to put them back in. But putting the floors in really helped because I could actually kind of visualize like where everything was now, which rooms were which. And so I'm trying to figure out what we have next. Yes, so next is the porch, or no, not the porch, is the garden. Next is the garden, and we are just landscaping pretty much the front of the house here. I decided to skip the backyard until we got to porch, and I would just, instead of doing porch, I would do patio for like the P aspect of this. And now we are doing the kitchen. So the kitchen is actually the room that turned out the best. And you will see that at the end here. There were basically no mistakes with the kitchen, and I was really proud of myself. I mean, the only mistake was the doors, but that was an issue all over the house. But the kitchen turned out really, really nice. I actually think the house itself is really cute. Obviously, there are a few like spatial errors. Like there are things that kind of look out of place, like when you go in. Like I'm very OCD when it comes to builds, and everything has to like line up perfectly, and there's a few things that weren't like lined up. There were a few kind of like empty spaces that didn't have any furniture, but those were kind of the only errors there. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with how the kitchen turned out. I was able to place paintings and not have any issues with that when I put the walls in, so that was really nice. So I'm just going in and I'm putting lights in now, and I'm kind of moving everything around here. We still have not gotten to the walls yet. I think after this comes the living room, which I am working on now. I'm trying to figure out where the couches go, and now I'm trying to place a TV. So the living room wasn't too hard, but this was one of the rooms where there were some like open, awkward spaces that didn't have any furniture in them. And I don't know why I didn't, like, for whatever reason, not having walls, and like, it's just, it makes such a difference to have the walls before, and I know that's pretty obvious, but this challenge really, like, makes you think about things that wouldn't normally, like, occur in your train of thought. Like, who knew that having walls helped to build a house? Like, who knew? But here I am putting some just bookcases and paintings up in the living room there, and now you move on to the entryway. This was something I struggled with a lot because eventually I did have to move that front door over to the side, but here is the patio area. This actually turned out pretty cute. Another thing that I struggled with this build was that I couldn't put a foundation in, or at least I couldn't figure out how to put a foundation in without having walls. So there is no foundation to this house. But I'm probably gonna go back. I mentioned this before, but I'm probably gonna go back and fix this house and like put a foundation in. Definitely change the roof. The roof was something that I struggled with, and you'll see that here in a minute. Definitely change the roof and the foundation and move some things around and upload it, because I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. This is actually a house that I would probably play with in one of my save files. But yes, there I am struggling with the roof. I had to kind of cheat for this because I couldn't really tell how Plumbella did it when I watched her video, but all I did was I put like a column of like walls down basically, and then I put a roof over it and then just moved it over, but I wasn't really able to do much with the roof other than do like a like that kind of roof, which I can't think of what it's called now, but like I couldn't do anything with it other than have like one big roof that went over the whole house. So it looks kind of dumb, but that's okay. Now here I am finally placing the walls, and now you'll see what I mean about the floors disappearing. So once I placed the walls, I kind of moved everything in the house because I was finally able to see that, okay, like these rooms don't really make sense now of where everything is. So here I am just kind of like fixing everything and centering everything. And there are a few things that were out of place, so I had to fix those. And then there you see me picking out colors for the rooms there. So I start with the bedroom here. And you guys, like, I was so anxious at this part because I felt so rushed while I was recording this. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to get this build over with. And I don't know why, but I felt like I was being timed, even though, like, there was no timer for this. But I had looked at the clock, and it had already been, like, an hour at this point, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, why is this taking me so long? But here I am putting more lights in. I have the hallway figured out, and now you guys can see that there is just an empty room next to the bathroom because I didn't really take into account the space between the dining room and the bathroom. So I suppose that could be like a little office area. Once I revisit this house, I'll probably put something in there. I don't know if it'll be a second bathroom, an office area, or maybe like a laundry room. You know, I didn't think about putting a laundry room in there, but that's probably what I'll do now. So here I am putting the windows. The windows are the very last components to this build challenge. So once we are done with the windows, the house will be complete. So yeah, I passed. I mean, there were a few hiccups here and there, but I was able to complete the challenge and get it done and build a decent looking house. There are a few awkward things about the house, like the lack of foundation. I think the window placement is a little bit odd, and the house doesn't really have much of like a structure to it. It's just basically a rectangle. But I think it turned out nice. I think the decor looks pretty nice. But yeah, guys, that is the ABC Build Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to like it and subscribe if you want to watch my other videos. I have plenty of them. I've been doing speed builds. I've been doing a lot more challenges lately, so definitely check those out, and I will see you guys later. Bye!